Hi, Millin here from AVP-Education. Just been asked by a couple of people who've got these G-View touchscreens on demo with to give them a bit of a video detailing how the Epson tools work. This is a little Epson tools viewer of the web camera. This is another part of the Epson tools here, and this is the other part. So if you look at our website, we've got the web camera that we're currently using here. So that's what's over here, creating this little viewing window that we've got there. If we want to have this view here into our whiteboarding software, we can just hit that button there, and that will bring it over here for future use. So we can select that and move that picture around and play with that however we like. Move it like that, and there's lots of options within the Epson software to manipulate that further. So as you can see from this toolbar up here in our whiteboard, this is the whiteboarding mode here, and this is back to the I'll just go back there to show you because the web camera wasn't open. So web camera there, just move that around. So it's just showing you, you can see me pointing up here to this toolbar. Just move it down there so you can see it. That's the whiteboarding mode there, and then that's the computer mode. So we just go back to the computer mode if we want to go back to the websites, web pages, circle whatever we want to circle, click on we've got this on highlighter pen at the moment, and then we want to go back to using it as a computer. Just click this mouse button here, and then you can go back and scroll up and down the page, go to different tabs and all that sort of thing you'd expect to do. So I might just shut this web camera down now because we've seen roughly how that works. The rest you'll just see from the screen capture that we're running at the moment. So going back to our website, you'll find on the Contact Us page, there's a folder here for the Epson tools and a folder here for the G-View tools. You don't need any passwords to get into that. So from the home page, just click on Contact, and you find those tools just there. G-View tools are very similar to the Epson tools. The difference is they have a few extra functions, which I'll explain at the end of the video. On this page here, we've got this web camera that we're currently using, or we were using a moment ago, to show what the screen looks like as you're actually using it. That's just a basic Logitech web camera that can sit on top of the screen, or you can just use the web camera built into your laptop, of course. This page here is the details on the screen itself. So you can see here the ports, the buttons I should say, and the other image here is the ports on the other side of the screen, so you can plug your computer straight into the front. But these screens do also support wireless casting with wireless touch as well from Windows computers, so you don't have to use the ports on the front if you don't want to. If we go back to the whiteboard mode, where we had that picture before, and we pull up our pens, you'll see here that's where the buttons are, and then over the other side are the ports we're just showing you. So again, just showing how to actually integrate the Epson tools into your lesson delivery. A lot of teachers are now also just using the Microsoft tools, so I've got a couple of saved documents on the desktop here. This Word document has some drawing tools already written over the top of the content. So this is just some content that I've pulled from, just use the Epson tools here. It's just some content that I've pulled from a website, that website there. So these are the Epson tools again. You don't necessarily always use them because you might just want to use the tools built into Microsoft Office software. So if you click here on Draw, you'll see here I can get this pen and draw over the top, and I can also replay the inking on the page. So fancy things like replaying inking there that is only if you've actually done the inking within the Microsoft software. So that's something just to remember if you ever want to do make a document there where you can actually go back and forth through what you've done on the document. You may be better off just sticking with the Microsoft documents rather than using an extra piece of software like the Epson software or the GView software. So that's just a matter of working out how it's going to work best for what you do in your class. On the desktop here, I've got the Excel document. Same story, you can just click draw there, and even stuff that's been saved previous, like this was obviously saved to the desktop and just opened up, but you can still use that replay inking to see all the inking that's been done on the document. And that again can be very useful if you're trying to explain how you might want to do a basic formula in Excel in this particular case, or yeah, any other number of lesson delivery content that you may find useful. So that's the basics of the Epson tools, which is this toolbar in white and this toolbar over here. We've got a web page open there, so say the Wikipedia page, and we wanted to highlight this and maybe talk a bit more about this section. And if you want to save that in your whiteboard mode, you can actually hit the toolbox here. You can hit capture. That just takes a screen capture. Go back to your whiteboard. You might want to open up a new page to paste this on, and then toolbox in here. That's your little paste icon, and away you go. And then you can make extra edits here, and this is actually within the Whiteboard software. So if you pull up a page view on the side there, you can see going back and forth through the extra pages in the Whiteboard software. And we might just one new page there. Just do some drawing on here. And as you can see, they're all there, ready to be saved into a PDF or saved into the Epson format if you want to be able to edit them in layers down the track. You can pin this on the side here as well, so we can go to this page, do some more drawing, go to this page, then come back here and not have to pull up that toolbar to change pages all the way through. Virtually unlimited page storage within the Epson software, and obviously it's pretty straightforward to use. You can see most of these icons are pretty self-explanatory. If you want to actually save that project, save as, choose your file name, file location, and file type, and it's all pretty straightforward to get your head around if you've never used it before. And a lot of schools obviously already have the Epson software installed, in which case there'd probably be no need for much of this training as such. We can come out and do a setup with any of the touchscreens that actually explains how all this stuff works to the teachers. We recommend groups of up to and including 6 people at a time. Anything more than that does often get a bit, the message may get lost, put it that way. So this page here on our website just basically gives some details about some of that stuff I was showing you before. Shows the example of the Word and the Excel that I was showing you there. On our web page, pretty much any time you see these little peepholes, that'll bring up a full-size image. Not that any of these things are particularly interesting, but just things there that might help teachers if they've never used any of this before. This here is just a page that I've got explaining what the Epson tools look like in the various modes. And again, you can pull up the high-res images there if you need to. So this is just on our training page, one of our training pages. So if you go training there and click this link up the top, you'll get to that page that I'm showing you there now. It also explains the GView software, which can be good for recording videos and making PDFs from screenshots of videos and those sorts of things. It's probably something that I wouldn't recommend everyone starts with. Much better off starting with the Epson tools and getting used to the Microsoft tools, and then you're going into extra pieces of software if and when the need arises. So that's pretty much the overview of how the software works, and obviously where to find different things on our website. And from there, pretty much just a matter of playing with the systems, playing with the software. I'll explain a few little limitations. On the GView screens, they support the full 10 points of touch that Windows supports, but the Epson software, because it is designed for the Epson projectors, and they only go up to a maximum of 6 points of touch, when you're in the Epson tools, you will only be able to get to 6 points of touch, whereas if you're within the Microsoft documents, you will be able to use the full 10 points of touch. So just change this to slightly bigger screen here. Just put a new page up there. And change that to landscape. Just pinch to zoom there, zooming that out a bit. Go back to the draw menu and choosing a red pen, and as you can see there within Microsoft you can do the full, that's obviously just 10 fingers that I use there, whereas within the Epson software we have a blank page here and we try to do 10 points. You'll see only 6 turn up, so that's the main difference between the Microsoft and the Epson, is just that Microsoft does support the full 10 points of touch that some of the newer touchscreens like this one can deliver to you in performance. So hopefully that's not too convoluted or confusing, but just letting you know that if you're using the Epson tools, you will be limited to the 6 points of touch. With the Microsoft tools, you'll get the full 10 points of touch that you get with all the newer LED touchscreens. So that's some of the limitations with the software. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. There's not a whole lot of extra training that I would suggest for teachers. It's really just a matter of getting used to using the software and remembering things like when you are using this one over here. If you're using a pen and then you want to click here on this website, obviously you've got to click back on your mouse button before you can actually click to the pages on your website. The other good thing with the Epson tools is the highlighter. That will actually work over the top of YouTube videos, so you can actually pause and annotate over the top of YouTube videos or even point at things, in the video itself. Whereas Microsoft, to the best of my knowledge, don't have any tools that are quite equivalent to that. So there are definitely plenty of reasons you would have both installed on your laptop. Hopefully that covers everything we need to cover in the first video. I'll go into a more detailed one where we basically go through all these different shape tools and all those sorts of things you can do with the Epson tools. All the different pens, which are, again, very, very basic. You don't need to know anything too much about how to use all of this stuff. Things like pinning and unpinning these tools, they're all, as I said, they're all just details that you work out for yourself pretty much. Again, probably one of the biggest useful functions of the Epson tools is bringing up that web camera. That can be useful again if you want to actually have that watching the class, so you can sort of see the class over on the top of your screen if you've got a laptop facing them, while you're doing other notes and other presentations on the other part of your screen. So there's a few things like that that are very, very, very useful functions of the Epson software, which is free for any of the education clients to use in Queensland. And as I said, just remember the toolbox there will give you extra functions, things like spotlight to highlight different sections of the page. You can change the size and shape and all that sort of thing. But again, a lot of you will have used all these basic functions before with other software, but it's just a good idea to get familiar with it and make sure that you're getting the best use you can out of the software and out of the hardware that you've got in the classroom. Millin is my name. You'll find us online, AVP-Education.com.au. And we look forward to hearing from you if we can help you with any of your education needs, any of your interactive touchscreens, installations, servicing, training, pretty much the whole lot. Please feel free to give us a call on the Contact Us page there. You'll see our number, and we are based in Brisbane, but we do service most of Southeast Queensland. Thank you very much. Millin has been my name. I will speak to you again.